Everything that you've done in your life has brought you to this moment, and it is as it shall be.
Feedback, feeling I wanna that get sparky. Banchiga with the darky. My goals got back.
Hey baddies, Paula Christine here, and today we're going to be talking about our March read, well, my March read, which was Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Now, you guys, I know, before we even start, I know I say this with every book, right? I know I say this is the best one, but listen, this is my favorite and this is the best one to me, okay? And I'm so happy that I read this book. This book is filled with so many gems. Every book I've read is filled with so many gems, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, every book that I've read so far, which was How to Write It Down, Make It Happen, and The Alchemist, to this book, I recommend you read. There are life-changing books, and like I said, I see why so many people talk about them and they have a lasting effect on people. Is because of the content that's in the book. So let's start with the book review. Now, I have a few things I want to talk about in this book that I just feel like they just have to be said and heard. So I'm not going to talk about every single law, but I will talk about the laws that stood out to me, okay? So the first one that stood out to me was the first chapter, which was the Law of Pure Potentiality. And the reason why I really like that law is because it talks about meditation, practicing stillness, practicing silence, which is a big one, and also practicing non-judgment. And it starts you off, that's a really good place to start off, especially if you're on your spiritual journey and you want to get into meditation and things of that nature. My next video that I'm going to go ahead and do for you guys is going to be the meditation app that I use and some meditation practices that I do. Alright, I think that's going to be my next video. But that was like a little plug-in, you know? But the Law of Pure Potentiality, it talks about meditation and stillness. When's the last time you ever sat still? And not just sitting still, but practice silence. And when we say silence, we're talking about not having any devices on, not talking to anyone, not speaking to yourself. I know some of us are a little cuckoo when we talk in third person. Not speaking to yourself at all, not even reading a book, not even doing any silent activities, but literally sitting still or laying still and practicing silence. And he says that you should do this, I believe, 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at nighttime. And I think that that is such a big thing. I've tried practicing silence. It is not as easy. It's not as easy as it sounds, practicing silence, because the first thing that happens is your mind starts to wander and you start thinking about things that you never even thought about, right? So practicing silence and practicing sitting in nature was another big thing that he talked about with meditation. I love the example that he used. He talked about the ocean. So he said, imagine your body, your life being like the ocean. And yes, the ocean is beautiful, but the ocean can also be chaotic, right? It's constantly in movement, constantly in flow, constant waves, right? That is the ocean. And he said, imagine that's your life. You want to practice becoming a pond. Right? You want to practice trying to sit still. And when we think of a pond, the pond doesn't have any movement. It's just still water, right? So he said, imagine trying to, when you're meditating, what are you trying to accomplish, right? You're trying to get still so that you can get in tune with yourself and list out your intentions to the universe, the things that you want to manifest into the universe. And sitting still is always going to have a bigger effect. Resting your mind, keeping your mind still is going to have a bigger effect with the things that you want to manifest in your life. And the reason being is because you're still. Imagine like he said, imagine your body being an ocean and your intentions being a pebble or a rock. If you throw a rock or a pebble into an ocean, is it going to make a ripple? Not really. You're not really going to notice that ripple. Why? Because it's chaotic. It's constantly moving. It's constantly waves, right? But if you're like throwing a rock or a pebble into a pond that is still, you see the ripples, right? So that's practicing meditation and practicing stillness and helping us manifest the things that we want in life. He said your intentions are like a pebble, right? So you want to sit still. I love it. I love it. I'm feeling it already, you guys. I don't know if you guys felt that too, but that's what it is. You're trying to sit still and get your thoughts together so that you can have a bigger effect when you're sitting still and allowing that stillness to throw out your intentions, if that makes sense. I go off sometimes, but yeah. So that was a really big one. Another big thing he talked about in that chapter was non-judgment. And we have a tendency, I'm going to say we, because we're all the same. I mean, that's another big thing that he talked about, how we're all the same. Nobody is above anybody and no one is below anybody. We're all the same. And we have this tendency to pass judgment, even when we're not thinking, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, we can pass judgment on people. And that's another big thing that I took away from that first chapter. The first chapter really affected me when I first read it. It was because I didn't realize how much I was judging people. I would like to say that I don't judge people a lot, but when you're conscious of your thoughts and you're like, well, that's something I wouldn't do. Oh, you know, you start to realize, oh wait, I'm judging you. Like, you know, and I constantly tell myself not to judge. So we talk about practicing non-judgment and not judging people, okay? So that was a big thing. So that was the first chapter, the Law of Pure Potentiality. Like I said, I'm not going to go into every chapter, but there are certain things that I did want to talk about. Choices, all right? Another big takeaway from the book was choices, understanding that we make choices, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. We are constantly making choices. And what he brings up in the book that I've been using every day in my life that has affected me in a positive way was understanding that where I am in my life is where I am supposed to be. And if you start to think that way, everything is the way it's supposed to be. So it doesn't matter if something is bad happening or something good is happening. Wherever you are today, right now, in this present moment, that's where you're supposed to be in your life. So if you're watching this video, then this is right. You get what I'm saying? And there's something that you're supposed to take away from this video in this moment, you know, in time. Like the universe has, everything that you've done in your life has brought you to this moment, and it is as it shall be. And I took that away, and the reason why that was such a big takeaway for me was because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I like for things to happen right now. Like I don't think that I'm such a patient person as people would like to think that I am. I'm not really as patient as I would wish to be. And sometimes I want things right now. Like I want to have my own place right now, or I want to have my own car right now. You know, I want things right now, and it made me slow down and say, you know what, where I am right now is where I'm supposed to be. There's something in this moment that I'm supposed to learn in this moment that's going to help me get to the next step or the next level in my life. And that's what this book has taught me. In one of the chapters, I want to say it's the Law of Least Effort, which is a really good chapter. Another thing in that chapter, it talked about our triggers, right? The things that trigger us. And this book is it's just filled with so many gems. The things that trigger us, and understanding that we make those choices, right? That we make our own choices every single day that affects our lives. So if somebody does something that I in the past would say, oh, you made me upset, you know, that was a big takeaway. Oh, this person is making me upset. This person is frustrating me. It was like, no, wrong. I am choosing to be upset. I am choosing to be frustrated. I am choosing to be sad. The same way I choose to be happy, right? No one controls how I feel. I am in control of my feelings, so I can never blame someone else for the way that I feel, because I consciously or subconsciously made the choice to be triggered or to feel that way, right? That's a big takeaway, and I want you guys to really listen to that and take that away. It says, when you feel frustrated or upset by a person or situation, remember that you are not reacting to the person or the situation, but to your feelings about the person or the situation. Best part, here it goes. These are your feelings, and your feelings are not someone else's fault. When you recognize and understand this completely, you are ready to take responsibility for how you feel and to change it. So once you understand that you are in control of your feelings, and pretty much you're in control of everything in your life, you made the choice to press play on this video, right? You're in control of everything in your life. Whether you understand that you're making the choice or not, you need to understand that you made a choice, right? So that is a big takeaway in this book that I absolutely love and that I keep with me. Like I said, practicing stillness, practicing non-judgment, practicing sitting with nature for a couple of moments in my day, understanding that everything is the way it's supposed to be in this moment, understanding that I make choices in my life that affect me in my present, right? And also understanding the law of karma. Whatever I put out in the universe, I get back. And that's one of the laws in this book, whether it's good or bad. So imagine now you understand that you're making these conscious decisions to be triggered. If you get angry at something, that's, you're throwing that anger out into the universe. So the law of karma is, it always comes back to you. That's just how it is. It's always going to come back to you. So instead of getting upset, now that you understand that you're making those choices to be upset, now you can have you can kind of it's like a cheat code. You can kind of flip it, right? Now instead of getting angry, I can flip it. Okay, I'm not going to let that would normally piss me off, that would normally get me upset. I'm not going to allow it to get me upset. I'm going to allow it to do this and teach me this so that it can affect me positively now in this moment, because I won't be upset, but also affect me with the law of karma, bringing good back into my life, right? So choices are a big one. And the last one that I really wanted to talk about, which was my favorite law, it was the Law of Dharma. It's the last law. And the reason it's my favorite is because I'm really big on, like, with the Alchemist, how it talks about chasing your personal legends and things of that nature. I'm really big on telling people to follow their dreams and their goals, and I feel like that's just my talent. That's a part of my talent, and a part of the reason why I'm here, and a part of the reason why I made this YouTube channel, and a part of the reason why the people that are in my life, they say that I inspire them, is because I feel like that is my talent. I'm here to inspire and to give, and I love that. So with the Law of Dharma, it says, you have a unique talent and a unique way of expressing it. There is something that you can do better than anyone else in the whole wide world. For every unique talent and unique expression of that talent, there are also unique needs, all right? Expressing your talents to fulfill needs creates unlimited wealth and abundance. Unlimited wealth and abundance. This book talks about not holding on to money. That's a big one. Have you ever just wanted to manifest money? A lot of people are trying to manifest money. Do you understand that when you're holding on to it, that you don't receive it? You know what I'm saying? And when you're not really open to giving, you won't get back. The way that money works, you're supposed to constantly give. It's a flow, right? It's a flow. If I give, I understand that I'm going to get back. That's why I'm the type of person, if you've ever been around me, I don't care. If I have it, I will give it. I never squeeze my coins or clench my coins. If it's something that I want, I get. I understand that when I give, I always get back. And that's something that I keep to myself. I'm not afraid to spend, because I know the universe is always going to provide and give me more, or God is always going to provide and give me more. And it's that constant life cycle. And that's how you have to be with your talents too. You have to understand that you have a unique talent, that you're here to give, that you're here to serve the soul of the world, as the Alchemist would say, like in the Alchemist, the soul of the world, right? So you have a unique talent, right? And it's your talent. Yes, I can sing, and somebody else can sing, or somebody else can rap, or somebody else can write music, or whatever the case may be for my talents. But I have a unique way of expressing that talent that nobody else can do. And it's my duty to serve, right? It's my duty to serve the soul of the world, right? And when you give back and you understand that you're serving, there's always someone who needs your talent. And because there's a need for it, you get back wealth and abundance. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to find out our unique talents and give back. And that's crazy that every book that I've read has kind of touched base on that. Giving back to the world, constantly giving, constantly showing gratitude, constantly understanding that you're in the present time. Do you guys understand and see the trends with these books? Everybody can't be saying the same things. There has to be some truth to it, right? The last thing I'm going to talk about is what he says to his children. And the reason why I want to put this in the reason I talk country sometimes, you guys, I jumble my words. The reason why I want to put this in the video is because it's something that I will apply to my children, okay? And I think it's really, really big. And I loved it. And I wish not to say anything about the way that I was raised, but this is something that I would pass on to my kids, all right? So what he tells his kids is, he started teaching his kids about meditation at a very young age. He says he taught them how to meditate at the age of 4 years old. So imagine getting a 4-year-old and sitting them down and teaching them how to be still, how to sit in nature, how to practice silence. He taught his kids these things, these tools that we need in our life to manifest greatness. And he says, I told them there was a reason why they are here, and they had to find out what that reason was for themselves. I taught them how to meditate at the age of 4. And I also told them, I never ever want you to worry about making a living. What I really want you to focus on is asking yourself, how can you serve humanity? And asking yourself what your unique talents are, because you have a unique talent that no one else has, and you have a special way of expressing that talent and no one else has it. He was telling his children this at a young age, and then he goes on to tell you guys that his kids, they are financially stable and they do the things that they love in their lives. So imagine that. Imagine if the people that were in your life while you were being raised or while you were growing up actually supported the things that you wanted to do, how much happier you would be if you probably would have made the choice to continue to do what you want to do. Or if right now you're thinking about the things that you want to do, imagine just making the choice and doing it, right? So that part was really big because, like I said in the last book, The Alchemist, it talks about chasing your personal legends. This book, it talks about chasing your unique talents and expressing your unique talents, and that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So I love this book. You guys, don't think I told you guys everything. I haven't even touched the surface. That's how much greatness is in this book, and I'm gonna read it again. I'll probably read it this week again, because every time I open this book, I'm just like, yeah, it kind of like that, yeah, I remember that. Let me start practicing. Let me start applying that to my life. Oh, there's so much I want to talk about. I'm probably going to make another video, you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I wish you guys well wishes. Don't forget to subscribe. Get the book. I'll leave the details in the link below. And please check out my last review, which was about The Alchemist, a great book as well and a great read. And if you read the book, go ahead and drop it in the comments, your favorite laws, your favorite takeaways, and say hi. I'll see you guys later. Once again, my name is Paula Christine. Peace out.
Roxy on the